That's right, folks. You are now entering New Moon Rapture Zone. We're going to get started here. I have a dire warning. I just want to show you guys the evidence. No explanation needed. The evidence speaks for itself. Okay. The evidence speaks for itself. And Houston, we have serious problems. So what's up, guys? Can somebody tell me if you can hear me? Because sometimes people cannot hear me. So I need to know. Somebody let me know. Please. Okay, great. Rebecca, thank you for joining. Always a pleasant surprise. Thank you, other people, everybody in there. All right, so we have. All right, great. So, one amazing thing, again, the Bible is full of amazing things. But one amazing thing in the Bible is Luke 3:23. And Luke 3:23 is the verse that says that Jesus was about 30 years old when he was baptized. Okay, so this is when it began. The Holy Spirit fell on him. John the Baptist baptized him. And then he was led out in the desert for 40 days, tempted by the devil. That's when it all began. So it says he was about 30. This is Luke 3:23. And that means that he was actually 29. Okay? So Jesus was actually 29 when that happened. And the verse that says that is Luke 3:23. So what is the year that I've been telling you Jesus began his ministry? 26 AD, right? We know that God equals 26 in simple gematria. Yahweh, which is YHVH, equals 26 in Hebrew. We have 26, Yahweh in our DNA. And so I've been telling you about 26, right? The pineal, the ajna equals 26, AJNA, right? That's where we see God in the pineal, just like Jacob wrestled with God at Peniel. So, do the math. Luke 3:23, what's 3 plus 23? That's 26. That's the verse that says that he was baptized. And it equals 26. And I've been saying he started his ministry at 26 AD. Luke 3:23. Look for yourself in the Bible. 3 plus 23 is what? 26. Okay. 26. So that's one thing. Now, the next thing is, what I really wanted to tell you guys is how impossible what most are telling people is. It's impossible. But here's the thing. All is no simple mathematics. Simple, nothing major. Do you know how to add? Do you know how to subtract? Then you're going to know that what they're telling you is impossible. I sit here and I go, geez, do these guys know what they're saying doesn't make any sense whatsoever? Now, what am I talking about? If you go online and you look up when was Jesus born, what year, you are going to get this. Anywhere from 6 to 4 BC. Now, people are like, well, how can Jesus be born before Christ? Well, that doesn't mean that. The actual term is BCE, which means before Common Era. Okay? That's just how our Roman deal works. That's what you're going to get every single time. From 6 to 4 BC, Jesus was born. And the reason that they know this, this is a fact that they know. Why? How is this? Because King Herod had to be alive uh, to do at the same time as Jesus. So the bare minimum would be 4 BC. That's where Herod and Jesus would have collided and both been alive at the same time. Okay, that's if you start from his birth. Technically, life begins at conception, but we're not getting into details yet. So, okay, now this is amazing because if Jesus was born in 4 BC and he was 29 when he began his ministry, just do the math. Okay, so from 4 BC around September, some say July, he was born. So you go to 3 BC, 2 BC, 1 BC, so you're 3 years down, and then 1 AD. Okay, so by the time you're at 1 AD, you're on the fourth year of the life of Jesus, not counting his 9 months of conception. Okay, and then just do the math. Okay, by year one, you're at 4 years, you go to 26 AD. There you go. Jesus is around 29 to 30 years old. It's right there. Now, this being the case, we know Jesus' ministry was 3.5 years, approximately. 26 AD, 27 AD, 28 AD, and then 29, right? But again, when we get into the months, right, depends, because when we get into the months, then it would actually be 30 AD. Okay, I'm not getting into the months and all this. So, 30 AD, max, would be the cross. Now, what I don't understand is how people can start be saying 33 AD. It's literally impossible. It's literally impossible. You don't get anything other than Jesus being born from 4 to 6 BCE. That's it. 4 to 6 BCE. That's what comes up. And the reason, like I said, that they know this is because Jesus had to be alive at the same time as Herod at one point, and that would have been 4 BC. At least. Some take it farther back. 4 BC. I'll agree on 4 BC. I know the number 4 is the number for door. Jesus is the door. I see a pattern there. So 4 BC. So how are people saying 33 AD is the cross? I'll tell you how. They're lying. I mean, it just takes a few minutes to do some simple mathematics to go, yeah, that's impossible. That's impossible. Jesus was 33 and a half about at the cross. About, right? 33 and a half about. He was born in 4 BC. How is 33 AD? It's impossible. But yet, it's falling on deaf ears when some of these guys see my videos. I know it because they're still talking about 33 AD, which would make the end 2033 AD, right? And again, this is all because they want a 7-year Great Tribulation or wrath period, whatever you want to call it, and that doesn't exist in the book of Revelation. It's not there. Never does exist. Neither does a physical man-made third temple. It doesn't exist in the book of Revelation. All that exists is a temple that is spiritual. All that exists is 42 months in the book of Revelation, over and over and over. Never 7 years, never a physical man-made temple. That's all a farce. These guys are all wrong. Some of them are lying on purpose to protect their little 7-year nonsense. And some of them are just ignorant. They're just, I don't know, they're lazy. I don't know, can they even do mathematics, right? It's like, what are they thinking, right? Okay, so I want to warn you guys, okay, because these issues are, to me, some of the main issues. What time is it? Where are we at on the timeline? Okay, so what they're see, because look, if the cross was 30 AD, which it was, but if they agree to that, then their whole thing falls apart. Then there is no possibility of a 7-year Great Tribulation or wrath period. It all falls apart. You see, that's why this is being swept under the rug. People see my videos, people look up the information that are teaching, and they must be just lying to themselves, right? I mean, it's simple math. Simple math. Don't be fooled. Don't look at it. As soon as this video's over, or even while this video's going, if you have another opportunity, another thing, look up when was Jesus born. The first thing that's going to come up is 4 BCE or BC to 6 BC, and that's because they know this because of Herod. He had to be alive at the same time, so it had to be at least 4 BCE. Okay, 4 BCE, right? To 20 to If you start at 4 BCE and you go to 33 AD, like they want, 33 AD as a crucifixion. Jesus is what, 36 years old at the cross? Come on, man. How stupid is this? This is so stupid. And I have to get on here live. I have to make videos every day to try and wake these people up. To try and, it's like, make them grow a pair, right? Show how you are coming up with your conclusion of 33 AD. Because it's not possible. It's impossible, which makes 2033 impossible, or 2032, or 2031, all that stuff. Okay? So I have to come on here, you guys, and repeat myself, and I will be doing this because it needs to be done. I'm like one of the only ones. What you're witnessing is a very rare thing here, because so many have jumped ship. They have already said it's 2026 already, which is not true. We're still in 2025 until April 1st. They've already, they're teaching that the end is 2033, that the cross was 33 AD, right? Which is not true. It's common knowledge. What I'm saying is not secret knowledge. It's not like, ooh, I got into a smoky room and figured these things out. Type it in. Take 5 minutes and type it in. What is the consensus? Well, Jesus had to be born at least at 4 BC. Okay, 4 BC. He was 33 and a half, 33 and a third, somewhere 33 and a half probably when he was on the cross. 4 BCE plus 33 and a half years. Is it 33 AD? No, it's not. Is it 32 AD? No, it's not. And it's not 31 AD either. Okay, it's 30 AD. Right, and then if you want to count from when he was conceived, you have an extra 9 months. Remember, it's just simple math. So I have to get up here, I have to repeat myself. And the only verse that says that Jesus was baptized at about 30, which means he was 29, is Luke 3:23. And 3 plus 23 is, my God, it's 26. And when would this have happened? 26 AD. Again, God leaves us these things, but we haven't been taught to see them, but they're there in the numbers. God leaves us these numbers for a reason. Do you think that the only verse that says Jesus was baptized, would add up to this? What are the odds, right? What are the odds that 3 plus 23 is 26? And he would have began in 26 AD. Well, exactly what that verse is talking about. The only verse. There it is. These truths are there. So another thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about is April 1st. We know on this channel that the new year begins April 1st. Okay, we know that the new year ends and begins April 1st. Okay, well, I don't have to get too far into that. We already know this. We know that was changed in the 1700s to January 1st. But all the way up until the 1700s, it was always April 1st. March 25th through April 1st. So, April 1st, right? What I want to talk to you guys about real quick is that in the 1500s, and I actually talked about this last year, in the 1500s, they took out 10 days. Okay, so in the 1500s, not the 1700s now, before they changed the calendar to January 1st, before they changed it to January 1st, in the 1500s, they took out 10 days, which was from October 5th to October, I believe, 14th. So in the calendar, what they did is from October 5th, they erased October 5th through October 14th. So it went from the 4th to the 15th. So they took out 10 days. The reason that they said that they did this is because they wanted to even up the calendar with the spring equinox. okay? The way that the heavens work or whatever. So that was their reason for doing this, is almost to straighten out the calendar more. Okay, maybe that's the case, but maybe it isn't. So if that isn't the case, this is another factor we have to factor in. So not only have we figured out that April 1st is the beginning of the new year now, but also we have to factor in the possibility that it could actually be 10 days past April 1st, because in the 1500s they took out 10 days. So April 1st would actually be, if that's the case, about April 12th. So the new year maybe will start April 12th instead of April 1st, which means that the true April 1st could be considered April 12th if we count 10 days that they took out. Just a possibility, something for you guys to keep in thought, right? Because we want to be transparent, we want to be honest, and we want to know these things. Okay, I'm not like most of the channels where I'm gonna lie to you to keep a doctrine, to hang on to nonsense. When I find new evidence that is true, okay, that not only complements everything, but whether or not it complements anything doesn't matter. If it's true, we're gonna hang on to that, okay? And this is true. I believe it was 1582 that they took out from October 5th to October 14th, which is 10 days, to even the calendar with the spring equinox. At least that's what they say. But the bottom line is they took out 10 days. Whether it evened it out or not, that remains to be seen. So what that means is that April 1st could be actually April 12th. Whatever. No big deal. We're still right there. We're still so close. We will just wait and see how it pans out. Okay? Whether the rapture be on April 1st or March 29th or April 12th. Okay? But I want to tell you these things because we need to know these things. And this is what it is. It's about continuation, continually growing, continually learning as truth is revealed. And what is the problem with most of Christianity? They have old truth. Not truth. They have old ideas. They have old understandings. And when new and better understandings, more truth comes to outdate what they thought that what they thought was true. They hang on to what they thought was true. And there are many reasons for this. Sometimes it's fear. Sometimes it's idolatry, right? And sometimes, so fear and idolatry is big. Those are the two main reasons. Because, when you change up things that you've been teaching for years, you might be afraid like, oh, people are going to call me a false teacher and all these things and stuff like this. Well, no. I mean, they might, but the truth is that we've all been lied to about everything, especially in religion, especially in Christianity, right? By the government, by the school systems, by the TVs, by whatever, right? So that's the real truth about all this, is that as you continually seek truth diligently every single day, this is going to be something that you will have to do. If you're honest with things, you're going to have to update. Just like things on the internet. Just like your phones. When a new phone comes out that's better, that's stronger, that looks nicer, you update. And yes, the truth stays the same. Always the truth stays the same, but the problem is that what you had might not have been the truth. It might have been what you thought was the truth. So you update. And that's unfortunately what a lot of these guys do not do. Whether it's fear or idolatry, they're hanging on to something because they want to feel good about themselves and feel right and be part of the in crowd, right? I mean, look, God has given me some gifts of discernment, and to see, kind of, not fully, of course, but, how people are. What are people actually looking for that are making these videos? One person that I'm kind of familiar with. I can just tell that that person, their main goal is not, they're not fully concerned about getting down to the exact facts and truth. What they're concerned about is getting along with everybody, right? So when you have a person that's like that, to me, they're in it kind of for the wrong reason. Okay. I don't do what I do, say what I say, make the videos that I make, and live the life that I live to get along with everybody. Okay. Does it sometimes feel good? Well, only if we're in agreement. Then it feels kind of good. But that doesn't happen often because you're in agreement about something, then you're not in agreement about something. So again, this person, no names, I can just tell they're more concerned about everybody getting along, kind of like a hippie Jesus, right? And not so concerned about if what they're actually saying is biblically accurate or just accurate in general, right? And there's a lot of people out there like that. Again, right? It's like, oh, well, we might be wrong, we might be right, but we all love Jesus. That's the attitude. That's the kind of thing that is not me. I'm not like that. Yes, you can be like that and you have that right, but that's not me. That's never been me. Okay? I mean, that was my life before I was what I am now. Okay? My life before was like, yeah, let's all party, man. Let's all get along. Great, right? That was my life. Right? Lots and lots of friends, right? And nobody cares. It's no big deal if we're wrong. That's how I was before I was, called to do what I was doing, to do what I'm doing now. Okay, I don't want that anymore. Okay, I don't need that anymore. I don't want that anymore. If I'm with a large group of people, we have to be right and correct. Okay, and if you say something that I don't agree with, we're gonna we're gonna figure these things out. So that's what this channel is about. Okay, and I've admitted to you guys, look, for the past 3 years, I started getting revelation that I share with you guys on a regular basis about 2025 and about the entire timeline. So I've been saying and proving 2025 as the year. And I'm honest with you guys. Yeah, I thought, it was going to be Feast of Trumpets, and then I thought it was going to be Hanukkah, and then I thought it was going to be Adar 14, which is Purim. But those were not the dates. But again, it's okay because the whole time I've been showing you calculations, proving to you it's this year though. As far as the day, it gets way more tricky. Okay. But yeah, I was, I didn't just come out and say, I think it's this day. I was showing you everything that I found. But again, so this channel, I don't just say things. I don't just pull somebody up on my channel and let them say whatever they want. Okay. And whether I agree with them or not, they can say it on my channel. It ain't happening. Okay. And I don't just, it's not a free for all. On this channel, I'm concerned about getting you guys to the exact truth on what we're talking about, whatever the subject may be. And it's a process. Okay. It's a process. Taking me years to have understanding of where I am now. So again, I want you guys to know that because this channel, I do have credit. I'm not a perfect person. I do mess up from time to time or whatever, however you want to look at that. But the point is the integrity. My integrity is good. My purpose, my motivation is to get you guys to the truth. And unfortunately, a lot of the guys out there, man, their main concern is everybody, let's just get along and we'll all teach different things and hoorah, let's have a big bonfire. It's like, no, you're wrong and this is right. And I have this, you have that. So we're not going to mix well, right? Like, I'm not just going to, well, it's okay if you're totally wrong on all these things, totally teaching error. Like, no, that's not going to happen here. Okay? That's not going to happen here. Okay? There's going to be a great division. Okay? Great, rightly dividing people as well. So this is a few things that I wanted to share with you guys today. If you found my channel, I think that, and I don't talk about myself in a high way or anything like this, but I think if you found my channel, I think that you're very blessed because I am a person who is just exactly what I just said. This channel is not about BS. This channel is about getting you guys the facts. And not only because I want them, but because I want to give you guys them as well. Because we are in those days, we're in the last days, we're in the last seconds, the last minutes, and this is what God has given me. A YouTube channel and Instagram channel. And this is what I've been doing for years and years and years. And it's all about growth. It's all about updating. It's a process of learning, storing information. And it is about being right. Okay? Some people will say out there, well, it's not necessarily about being right. It is about being right. Because if you're wrong and you find out you're wrong, you want to change to do something, teach something correct. And unfortunately, a lot of people out there kind of lackadaisical, right? They'll just, well, if it's wrong, it's right. We all just love Jesus. It's like, no, man. That's not what I'm about. So those are some things I want to share with you guys. Thank you for joining me tonight. Small video. It's a short video, and there's not a whole variety of information, but the information that I shared with you tonight is kind of important. So, there's hardly anybody out there that is grabbing onto the truth, even though it's so obvious. The truth that I showed you is so easy. The mathematics and stuff like this, it's simple, The Bible speaks all of division, okay? We're supposed to divide from lots of things. Other believers, for sure, okay? And, so let me address this guy real quick. He said, why would I speak of division? Because the greatest gift is love. So, I guess I'll answer this guy real quick. It's a very simple answer. You have to define love. God defines love. And in Paul's gospel, he tells you specifically to divide from many types of other believers. Okay? Drunkards, fornicators, people who are practicing sin, and false teachers. In fact, he talks about exposing false teachers. So, and dividing from them. Romans 16, verse 17 and 18. Ephesians 5:11. Okay? The list goes on and on. How can two walk accordingly if they're not in agreement? I don't know if that's an Amos or not, but the Apostle Paul writes all about dividing. So, again, this is that problem, this whole idea of love, right? And, well, then we see the problem is nobody wants to define what love actually is, right? And so the definition that people are giving today for love is a false definition of love, a false meaning of it, which is let's just all get along and be happy. There's way more to that than that idea. That's not even a correct idea of love, okay? Love has to do lots with division, okay? And you got to read Paul's epistles for that. He wrote from Romans to Philemon. So you'll find plenty of reasons to divide from other believers in there. So, and that's my cousin going to the restroom. So yeah, that's not going to work. It's not going to work. Yeah, Scott, I just explained all that. So, a Protestant priest? Yeah, you sound, yeah, right. Great. Yeah. Yeah, I know exactly, Rebecca, right. Like a priest? Yeah, okay. There's the problem right there because Michael! What are you, dude, I'm live. What are you doing, man? Dude. Man. It's hard living with other people. Yeah, a priest, right? Yeah, I love everybody. Yeah, yeah. There's no priests Anyway, well, that's a whole nother argument, right? If there's priests or not, but it doesn't matter because the definition of love and separation are one and the same. Okay, you have to define love, and you have to read Paul's epistles to figure out that we're supposed to divide from other Christians for lots and lots of reasons. So that's not going to work. Anyways, thank you guys for joining me. God bless. Good night. Thank you for the views. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the shares. Thank you for the donations to the Cash App. Everything is appreciated. Share the video if you feel led to.